Welcome back to the comfy couch.
It just started recording.
Welcome back to the comfy couch.
Welcome back to the third Spoon and Sock podcast.
No memes. Today we're going to talk about racism, some hurricanes, some political, not political, God, no, not political.
Never political.
Never political. We're going to talk about, what are those things that people care about?
What?
Contemporary issues? Topical? Question? I don't. Mario. We're gonna talk about Mario. Mario. Mainly, we're gonna just talk about what happened with PewDiePie, or give our 2 cents on it. The 2 cents that nobody cares
about. My view is that I don't fucking care that he said it at all.
Yeah.
My view is that, you know, JonTron back on the Game Grumps, he used to say it all the fucking time, and they never got, I mean, people were mad, but, like, they didn't censor it, they didn't get that much flack for it. The comedian Louis C.K. has said it before on national TV, he gets praised for it. So PewDiePie says it in a fit of rage, and all because he's a big old famous YouTuber, and he said some dumb shit, you know, last year. Oh, now it's confirming he's a racist. It's like,
yeah.
What?
To play devil's advocate, though, I think a lot of people are disturbed about the context of it. Because, I mean, honestly, there's like a million different things he could have said, not just the N-word, that could have elicited that kind of reaction. But I think it's how he said it that people are throwing a big fit about.
Yeah.
They're like,
hard R.
Yeah, hard R. And I mean, it is really something to consider that it just came out really naturally.
It did. It really did.
Like
it didn't even seem like a joke or anything. He just like was.
And it's like
if almost you didn't have a camera on him, he would have just dropped it. Yeah.
And let's just be real. We've said it on the show before. I mean, you can piece it together.
Yeah.
You guys aren't dumb.
But we're joking.
We say it out of irony.
Like, we're fucking joking, and we're smart enough to censor it. I mean, PewDiePie was kind of in a, you know, the literally worst case scenario is he said it live on stream, and I think the reaction is ridiculous.
I agree. I think it's wrong.
That game developer is...
Oh my gosh. Did you see the tweets he
sent?
sent?
Yeah, I'll say...
Dude, that guy's so far up his own ass. Here's the thing that bugs me a lot. Is people that aren't PewDiePie are acting like this decision affects them. They're like, there's another tweet where somebody was like, oh, we almost had the ad revenue thing sorted out, and PewDiePie comes back and fucks it up for everybody. I'm like, everybody on YouTube, I don't think there's like a collective image of like that they share.
Like,
it's
PewDiePie
like,
doesn't speak for you and me. PewDiePie doesn't speak. PewDiePie doesn't speak for Smosh. PewDiePie doesn't speak for fucking Casey Neistat. Like,
and then you look at the developer and he's like, I really want to look up his exact words, which is probably the smart thing to do given the nature of this controversial topic. I don't even know what his name was. It was a Firewatch Studios guy, right?
Yeah, it was Santo Games. It was Sean something.
Santo Games PewDiePie tweet.
He called PewDiePie a child. It's like, dude, the reason your game made so much money is partially because PewDiePie played it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that game came out like 2 years ago, and you're gonna pull game. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, let me just read it from top down, just so everybody's on the same page. So this is from Sean Vadaman, the guy who represents Santo Games, or Campo Santo Games, and his opinion on the situation. He says, there is a bit of leeway you have to have with the internet when you wake up every day and make video games. There's also a breaking point. I'm sick of this child getting more and more chances to make money off of what we make. He's worse than a closeted racist. He's a propagator of despicable garbage that does real damage to the culture around this industry. I'd urge other developers, and we'll be reaching out to folks much larger than us, to cut ties from him and the content he's made and the content that's made him a millionaire.
Well, buddy, I'm sorry to tell you, but you'd be cutting your ties with literally every YouTuber and gamer out there.
He's not even... See, he goes on. He says, furthermore, we're complicit. I'm sure we've made money off of the 5.7 millions that video's made, and that's something for us to think about. Lastly, I love streamers. I watch them daily, and we've sent over 3,000 keys to professional and amateur streamers of Firewatch.
Yeah.
To just break that down point by point... To say he's worse than a closeted racist, it's like...
That is the most untrue statement.
One word does not reflect your entire opinion on a race. That is so ignorant.
It's a word. It's not like PewDiePie didn't go on and say, I hate, black people. It's like,
exactly.
He didn't say that. He said a derogatory term. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, I feel like we're talking to the public here. Like, be real. That word is a meme now. It's been a meme. People don't use it in reference to its original intent. It's like the word fuck. If you had to define fuck to somebody, what would you even say? Because anything you tell them, it would have a different application, like every time it's said. Like if somebody gets mad and they're like fuck, that doesn't mean two things banging. You know what I'm saying? Its definition is so plastic, it doesn't even stand for what it's originally, was created for as a derogatory term. It's like it's lost that definition almost. It's the same thing with when people are like rape. Rape has lost a lot of what it originally meant, because like you'll have people that go out there and they're like, he's raping me with his eyes.
Like, why?
That doesn't make sense.
Like, my opinion is it was a word that we're giving power to by saying it's bad.
Yeah.
So why don't we just take power away from the word? I mean, granted, I don't have a say, really, but...
And it's always been upsetting to me, because I feel like it's impossible...
But it's a lot of white people getting mad for...
Exactly.
African Americans. It's like, you don't have a right to say that. You don't know.
And I'm of the opinion that it's impossible to offend somebody. I feel like you have to be offended, because nothing is inherently offensive.
Anything could be made funny, in my opinion.
And my point saying that is, if you go to a country that doesn't speak English and if you drop the N-bomb, it means nothing to them. You have to mentally decide, I'm going to be offended by this because you have put value on the word. It doesn't matter your value that you put on that word. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same as everybody else's. So if you get really offended by it, welcome to the land of free speech.
Yeah, and people are...
I just don't get why people want censorship. It's absurd. I would never want censorship.
The whole point of YouTube, all YouTube and Google have become is just about censoring people and everything that they do. I mean, even before the live streams, for about 2 weeks straight, PewDiePie was censoring all of his videos. Everything he said was censored by a little meow from a cat.
And it became like a meme on his channel, because he's like, well, we got the ad revenue alert going off. And it's sad that that's what it's come to. YouTube used to be about like being yourself,
and now you have to monitor.
You have to be the perfect, ideal child of these restrictions. That's why I'm almost half tempted to say like we would never monetize our videos, just because that's ridiculous. But I think that's too much to commit to. Well, no, I like doing videos; they're really fun.
I like doing videos as well. The only thing is, this is kind of like a controversial topic, so of course, just watch everyone go against us on this.
Hey, that's the beauty of it. If people disagree with us,
you're allowed to. We're not going to get mad at you for disagreeing with us at all. Absolutely
not. I don't even care if you just leave a dislike and then leave the video. It's like
that's fine. You're allowed to do that.
This is more of a discussion. This is a one-sided thing right now. If you're like in your head arguing against us, feel free to drop it down in the comments.
Constructively.
Yeah, we're gonna read it.
Don't be, immature about it. But no, like, I don't know. It's crazy, I think. And of course, all of this is just more fuel for internet journalists to be, oh yeah, he's totally racist. And this confirms that he's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And people, he apologized, which, dude, like, the only...
I will say, though, like, the fact he said it was overall, I think, the wrong thing to say. Out of all the words he could have chose from, that one is, it's, like I said before, it doesn't really stand for what it used to, but it's still offensive.
It's a sensitive word.
It's like making jokes. I think that's all within like the same realm of like making jokes about like 9/11 and like World War II and stuff like that. There's just some things you got to stay away from. Then you're gonna move into like the filthy Frank territory where you have to commit to not giving a fuck. and make that your shtick to make it acceptable.
Yeah, and you and I have, morals and actually care, how people's feelings.
Well, it also, I think the crowd that kind of language draws is one that has zero filter and is therefore a little more immature. I think that's what I think.
I mean, that's really all I had to say on the matter. I just think that the backlash is mostly just because he's a big YouTuber who said dumb shit before. So now
Right,
it's just
because like millions of other people have said it.
And now, and they get nothing for it. And now just because PewDiePie says it, it's a big deal. That's my opinion on it.
Well, the only other thing I wanted to say that really frustrated me was just the fact that the developer in specific, he's like, I'm going to read his exact words again, just because I don't want to say anything off. Okay. Propagator of despicable garbage that does real damage to the culture around this industry.
Such bullshit.
I don't understand what culture he's talking about. Is he talking about, like, video game culture? I mean, are you really going to make the claim that PewDiePie is, like, a face of video game culture?
I mean, he kind of is, though. That's the thing.
But he's, like, look at his videos. They're, like, how to laugh and lose. He does, like, vlogs.
Yeah, he hasn't played video games seriously in a minute.
No, it's been a long time. And, I mean, even then, it's just, like... I think video games are too big and too broad of a topic to really group together as, like... I mean, that word just refers to a type of media. I don't think it refers to a culture. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just say video games are a culture. That's like saying mathematics is a culture in a way. It's like, I mean, you have like physics.
I mean, there definitely is a gaming culture, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's too broad.
I mean, my biggest issue is all the YouTubers are now saying, like, oh, it's gonna harm us. It's like, I mean, sure, outside of people who watch YouTube may think that all YouTubers are the same, but people who watch YouTube and other YouTubers know that everyone's unique and is different, and, like, even Ethan from H3H3 was saying, like, this makes us all look bad. How? How does it? It doesn't, though.
Yeah,
Ethan,
exactly.
You don't play video games. You have nothing to do with this.
I mean, even if... I guess you can say video games are our culture. I mean, it makes sense, but something about that tweet just bothers me. It's
oh, no,
that
guy's a dumbass. Like, I'll probably never buy a Santo.
Despicable garbage that does real damage to the culture around this industry.
You should see some of the comments to his tweets. There are some...
It's just like...
some angry things said back to him and that.
I mean, he's not even upset at the implications of the word. He's upset that it's like... somebody else put it really good, and I think this was a comment shown in another video, but it was like, the only reason people are getting mad about this is because of money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It is. I guess that's really all it comes down to is money, which is ridiculous, but we can move on. Closing thoughts? Out of 30, what do you give his tweet?
A -4.
I give it a 29. Next topic. Just kidding. His tweet. Oh, that's what I said. I meant to say what PewDiePie said.
Oh, what PewDiePie said?
Yeah.
I mean, what he said was bad, and you shouldn't say it on live streaming without, like... See, the problem was he wasn't trying to be funny, and it wasn't a joke.
That's true.
He just inherently said it.
As if it was a legit, offensive...
Yeah, that's why people are mad. It's because with the anti-Semitic stuff, it was a joke, it was a setup, and he wanted to see how much he could push something.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But this, it was just, like, heat of the moment, like, if that camera wasn't there, it's like, he probably would have still said it. That's my closing thought. I guess the next topic was hurricanes.
Oh, I wanted to say, my last closing thoughts of it were, I think it's good of him to apologize. It shouldn't have been said, but the reaction to it is ridiculous. And that's my thesis statement.
Yeah, and it's like, you didn't lose any subscribers over it, really.
Hurricane Irma.
Hurricane Irma.
Hurricane Jose.
So Harvey...
Was Harvey the name of the hurricane or the place in Texas that got damaged? Please don't call me a tard.
You're kind of a tard. It was the name of the hurricane that fucked up Texas.
So what part of Texas in specific got fucked up?
Like all southern Texas.
Really?
Yeah, like a majority of Texas got fucked.
Damn, dude.
And then Irma moseyed on down from Africa.
God, I've actually seen the effects of Irma, like, in person. I went down to Florida.
Irma.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Totally kidding.
Irma fucked shit up too. It's just so weird that there are like literally 5 hurricanes in succession. You got Harvey, Irma, Jose, and then Katia, all within a month.
There's another one after Jose?
Yeah, it was Katia. It hit Mexico.
Holy shit, dude, what?
Yeah. It wasn't that big though. I think it was only like a category 1.
Yeah, so one of the things...
Irma was just spooky because it was a category 5 for so long and hit Florida as like a category 3, I believe, which is still like 120-mile-an-hour winds. Like the footage I saw literally showed like busy downtown streets that just looked like a fucking river. Like people just from their apartment buildings, like lol.
I go on a website called Imgur. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Imgur.
Imgur. But a lot of people are posting about how people in the Florida are going to, with like canoes and stuff, swimming down the local neighborhoods to rescue the dogs and stuff.
Aww.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, I read an article that a lot of dogs are getting left behind.
That's really sad.
That's terrible.
That's like a member of your family.
I would never leave my dogs.
Dogs are the most pure.
I'd probably leave my hedgehog though. Let's be honest.
You're on your own, Sonic.
Like, Sonic can float, so he can. If you put hedgehogs on their backs, they float.
How can he flip himself over?
He won't. They literally don't. They like ball up. And...
Oh, he'll die. He'll die for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I have a hedgehog, and like, yeah, no, I'd save the dogs.
Also, are you enjoying the fidget spinner?
Sonic's overstaying his welcome a little bit. They told me like 2 to 3 years, and then I looked up online. It was like a max of 10.
You kind of just want him to die now. I got school. Go. just die.
Like, not to be a dick.
Sonic.
Like, not to be a dick, but kinda.
It's fucked up.
Like, okay, no, literally, I talked to the breeder. I didn't buy it from like a pet store. I literally went to like a local breeder who took really good care of them. And I was like, what's the expected lifespan? Because I got him like freshman year of college, and I'm like technically a senior now. And they're like 2 to 3 years. And I was like, cool. I look it up online, and it was like 2 to 10 years. And I was like, oh no.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Oh, this isn't that figure.
Irony. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
But it was to be funny, so it's okay.
That's true. The rules don't apply because we don't have enough subscribers.
I mean, that's the sad part.
It's in the terms of service.
I just realized how loud they are.
Are they? Fidget spinner!
Oh,
they play Pokemon.
Well, yeah, so...
Can I see it?
No. So the hurricanes...
Spoon took my fidget spinner.
Socks being bait. We're both tired. I quit smoking today, so I'm a little on edge.
Dude, how and why?
So I ended up in the ER for coughing up blood. I probably have like a strong case of pneumonia because it hurts to breathe sometimes.
That's healthy.
So I decided that I'm gonna quit because I smoked a lot, like 3/4 of a pack a day.
I have smoked 1 cigarette, 1 puff of marijuana, and a few cigars.
Can't do cigars. I don't like cigars. But yeah, basically they're like, you need to stop. Your lungs are getting fucked up. They checked me for cancer. Didn't have cancer, so that's a plus.
That's good. Let's talk about weed. No, I'm just kidding. What else should we talk about?
I like weed.
Actually, I don't smoke the ganja. I've tried it. It was cool. A little silly that stuff's illegal.
My name's Jeremy Renner, and I totally smoke it. So,
Who the hell is Jeremy Renner?
the guy who plays as Hawkeye in the Avengers. It's just the first name that came to my head for some reason.
What do you want to talk about?
I mean, that was kind of really it.
Do you want to do one more topic? Was that 30 minutes?
Dude, I have no idea. I've lost all track of time.
Let's talk about the movie It. Just kidding, we haven't seen that yet.
I really want to see that movie, though.
So do I.
I heard it was good.
Same. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video of the kid from the original movie?
Oh, dude, what I did hear about the movie It, are like people are fascinated at the fact that Stephen King omitted the child orgy from the book.
What?
Yeah, all the kids like fuck each other in the book to like explore sexuality and stuff.
What?
Yeah, and people are like, why isn't that in the movie? And
Oh, gee, I wonder.
Well, yeah, and Stephen King's like, because it's like a different time and shit's more sensitive and you can't have that anymore.
I didn't know that was in the book.
Yeah, like all the kids like fuck each other because they're like girls and guys in the group. Yeah, there's like a whole article about it.
I'm gonna Google because I'm really interested now. I mean, not in like. I'm just interested because I don't know. I never knew anything that fucked up was in the book.
Oh, dude, that book was fucked up.
It.
Child orgy, like literally.
I don't want to have that in my Google search.
Child orgy.
I just have to make it really like a beat around the bush, like kids.
Stephen King.
Kid penis. Kid penis Magoo. It, Stephen, I'll just go for it. Child orgy.
You put It and Stephen King before it, so if you're on a wanted list, they'll be like, okay, he was looking up something. Yeah, see?
Horrified parents of child actors with gross and creepy sex scenes.
Stephen King doesn't know why you're so obsessed with the child orgy in it. Yeah, that's the article I read.
No fucking kidding.
Yeah. It's not in the movie, obviously, he took it out. Yeah, that's a quote from him. I wasn't really thinking of the sexual aspect of it. The sexual act connected childhood and adulthood. It's another version of the glass tunnel that connects the children's library and the adult library. Times have changed since I wrote that scene, and there is now more sensitivity to those issues, says Stephen King.
Holy shit. Actually really interesting to hear his mind on those kind of things.
Yeah, it's like people are like, why didn't you put it in? It's like, why? What? Like,
just
how dense are you?
Look at the people reacting to PewDiePie.
Like,
imagine.
How do you think they're gonna feel? It's like, did you want a child orgy? It's like there are a lot of pedophiles out there that wouldn't slide these days.
Absolutely
there's no
not.
way you could put that in a movie.
That's another thing that's really interesting. There's like it's almost like a bell curve with acceptance, because it's like back then you couldn't show ankle on TV. Now you can show like anything you want, but you can't say certain things. And if you look at the old like not Jerry Springer, Tom and Jerry, like Tom and Jerry comic.
Jerry Springer.
Those are dark.
Yeah,
they're really dark. Like at the very
violent.
end.
They're violent. They're very violent for the time.
At the very end, Tom kills himself.
Yeah.
Like no joke.
No, some of that shit's like really fucked up.
And it's crazy because like you could get away with that back then, but now it's like it's reversed in that respect.
Well, I think today was kind of a short topic day.
We didn't even come in here with a script or anything.
We never do. I mean, we usually have topics in advance.
Yeah, we didn't even have a list.
Today we just kind of...
We were triggered by the PewDiePie stuff and had to get our 2 cents out there.
Yeah. Alright, well I think that's it for today, so thank you for listening. If you have a comment, leave a constructive comment below and make sure to subscribe to get some more videos.
Do the subscribe! We need it!